The stars above Earth glimmered silently, as if waiting for something extraordinary. Humanity had always looked up at the night sky with curiosity and wonder. For centuries, humans had dreamed of meeting other intelligent life. And now, that dream was about to become reality. It began with the first signals. Strange transmissions arrived from deep space, carrying messages in patterns no human had ever seen. Scientists worked day and night to decode them. When the translation finally succeeded, it revealed a civilization far older and far more advanced than humanity, a race called the Virelians. The Virelians were sleek and precise, with bodies and minds adapted for survival across galaxies. Their ships shimmered with technology that bent light and twisted space. Governments on Earth debated for months, but finally, the United Nations decided to send a cautious greeting. Humanity would show itself carefully, diplomatically, and with respect. When the Virelians arrived near Earth, their first impression was amusement. They hovered silently above major cities, scanning and observing with their sophisticated sensors. Then came the laughter. It was not audible but transmitted through their communication systems. A mocking signal that humans could feel in their minds. "What is this?" a Virelian voice said, filtered through Earth's receivers. "Primitive machines? Stone Age vehicles? You dare call these war machines?" The humans had shown them Earth's historical military equipment, tanks, old artillery, and other machines from a century past. The Virelians had expected sleek ships and weapons of unimaginable power. Instead, they saw old armored vehicles with thick steel plates and enormous guns. Earth's leaders felt embarrassed, but they also felt something else: determination. Humanity was being underestimated. That, more than anything, sparked a fire among humans. In secret, teams of engineers, scientists, and military officers began a project unlike anything before. They called it Project Phoenix, a mission to transform old war machines into something the Virelians could never anticipate. At a hidden base, tanks from museums and scrapyards were carefully dismantled. Engineers studied every curve, every bolt, and every gear. Then, slowly, they began to rebuild them with advanced technology: energy shields, quantum engines, adaptive armor, AI-assisted targeting systems. Old tanks were reborn as machines that were both nostalgic and terrifyingly advanced. Commander Elena Ramirez watched over the project. She was a veteran of many Earth conflicts and had a deep respect for history. She believed that human creativity was the greatest weapon of all. "These machines," she told her team, "carry the spirit of humanity. The Virelians may laugh at them, but they have never faced human ingenuity before. We will show them that history and innovation together make an unstoppable force." Meanwhile, the Virelians continued to hover near Earth's orbit. Their ships were enormous, casting shadows over cities below. They released scouts to study human cities, flying above in formations that made people on the ground feel small and insignificant. One such scout hovered above New York City. It observed skyscrapers and streets, analyzing traffic, energy usage, and military installations. Then it paused when it detected the tanks being rebuilt in secret facilities. A Virelian analyst transmitted its findings. "Primitive. Still primitive. These humans play at war with machines older than our sensors. They are insignificant." Humans, however, were not insignificant. Underground bunkers and remote factories hummed with activity. Teams tested the tanks in deserts and mountains, adjusting them constantly. Some tanks were equipped with cloaking technology, allowing them to vanish from sensors. Others had adaptive energy cannons, capable of focusing blasts precisely where needed. AI systems learned from every test, predicting outcomes faster than any human mind alone could. On the day of the first demonstration, the tanks moved across a massive training ground. They rolled like ghosts from history, their shapes familiar yet strange. Energy shields shimmered in the sunlight. Advanced sensors allowed each tank to communicate with others, forming strategies on the move. Elena Ramirez stood on a hill, watching the tanks in action. Her heart raced. "They'll never see this coming," she whispered. And they were right. The Virelians watched remotely, expecting another primitive exercise. When the tanks began their coordinated maneuvers, their AI analysts were confused. Each machine moved in unpredictable patterns. They dodged simulated attacks, returned fire with calculated precision, and disappeared from sensors only to reappear behind enemy positions. "This is impossible," the Varelian analyst admitted. "These humans, they combine history with technology. Their unpredictability exceeds our calculations." Back on Earth, citizens were unaware of the full scope of the project. They noticed military convoys moving faster and silently, but no one could imagine the scale of the transformation. Behind every armored shell was human intelligence, creativity, and courage. Elena's team continued refining the machines. Even as the Varelians laughed and mocked, humans adapted faster. Each failure became a lesson. Every test improved the design. By the time the first scout ship approached for a closer look, the tanks were ready. When the scout appeared above a city, the tanks activated their cloaks. To the Varelian sensors, it looked like nothing was there. Then, suddenly, the tanks appeared at multiple points, surrounding the scout with precision strikes and coordinated maneuvers. Energy pulses from the tanks forced the alien craft to retreat instantly. The humans cheered silently, knowing they had made a statement. Earth was not weak. It had been underestimated, but that mistake would never happen again. The Varelians, now genuinely intrigued, began to reconsider their assumptions. These humans were not primitive. They were clever, resourceful, and bold. Humanity had turned their mockery into motivation. And yet, the biggest challenges were still ahead. The Varelians had not come to destroy, they had come to observe. But the humans were ready. Project Phoenix was only the beginning. The world had watched as Earth's ancient tanks transformed into symbols of human resilience, and the message was clear. Do not underestimate humanity. As night fell over the cities, tanks and machines rested quietly in hidden bases. Engineers worked tirelessly, and commanders studied tactics for what might come next. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger galactic stage, armed not only with advanced machines but with the courage and unity that had defined its history. Above Earth, the Varelians paused in orbit, their curiosity piqued. Laughter was gone, replaced with something new. Respect and a hint of concern. Elena Ramirez looked at the sky. Her mind was already planning the next steps. Humanity had been underestimated, mocked, and laughed at, but soon, the galaxy would see the true power of Earth. The stars above Earth shone brighter that night, as if acknowledging that humanity had begun its first move in a game far larger than the planet itself. And this was just the beginning. The sun rose over Earth, spilling golden light across the hidden training grounds. The tanks from Project Phoenix gleamed under its rays, their surfaces shimmering with energy shields and advanced alloys. Humans had come a long way since the Varelians had first laughed at them. Now, every machine was ready, not just for demonstration, but for the real challenge ahead. Commander Elena Ramirez walked among the tanks, inspecting each one carefully. Each vehicle bore the marks of history, yet it was enhanced with technology far beyond the imagination of the Varelians. Adaptive armor absorbed energy blasts. Quantum engines allowed near-instant maneuvers. AI systems predicted enemy actions faster than any human could. Yet, the heart of each tank remained human ingenuity. "Elena," said Lieutenant Kiran Patel, her second in command. "The Varelians are observing us closely now. Sensors show multiple scout ships moving near the orbit. They've noticed the upgrades." Elena nodded. "Good. Let them watch. The more they underestimate us, the better." On the surface, the world seemed calm. Citizens went about their daily lives, unaware that humanity was preparing to show the galaxy something they had never seen before. Governments had agreed on secrecy, knowing that surprise was humanity's greatest weapon. In orbit, the Varelians gathered their scouts and small attack vessels. They had seen some of the tank's new capabilities, but they believed it was a minor experiment, a small planet's attempt at defense. They had yet to realize the scale and intelligence behind human strategy. The first encounter came unexpectedly. A small Virelian drone approached a desert test site, curious about the new machines. The tanks, fully cloaked, waited silently. When the drone entered range, it was surrounded by light. Energy pulses from the tanks disabled its sensors in an instant. Impressive, Elena said quietly. But that is only the beginning. The humans had not just upgraded machines. They had created a system of coordination. AI-assisted tanks communicated instantly, sharing data on enemy movements, terrain, and potential attacks. Strategies that once required hours of planning could now unfold in real time. A simulated battle began. Tanks moved in formation across the desert, disappearing from sensors and reappearing where the Virelians least expected. Energy cannons fired with pinpoint accuracy, while decoy drones confused the enemy's targeting systems. Each movement reflected the creativity and unpredictability that only humans could produce. In orbit, Virelian analysts were shocked. These humans, their machines are faster than expected. They adapt in real time. Their strategies are unconventional. The Virelians sent larger scout ships, hoping to intimidate the humans. They hovered above cities, their massive shadows blocking sunlight and striking fear into the unprepared. But the humans were ready. Elena's voice came over the command network. All units, prepare for orbital interaction. Engage full adaptive protocol. Use tactics learned from history and innovation combined. Tanks rolled forward, some disguised as normal vehicles. Others activated energy shields, becoming near invisible to Virelian sensors. When the aliens targeted them, they suddenly shifted positions, striking from unexpected angles. It was a dance of metal, light, and strategy, an orchestration of human genius. Lieutenant Kieran smiled as she watched the simulation on the command screen. They think they understand us. They don't even know what humans are capable of when we work together. Meanwhile, young engineer Tomas Lee worked frantically at a control station. He monitored tank responses, feeding real-time data into AI systems. Come on, think faster, predict better, he muttered. Every improvement, every calculation, made the tanks sharper, faster, smarter. Then came the real test. The Virelians sent a medium-sized fleet toward Earth, intending to probe defenses and intimidate the population. The humans were ready. As the first ships approached, the tanks activated quantum jump technology, a newly developed method allowing short, sudden relocations across the battlefield. To the Virelians, it looked like the tanks had multiplied, appearing in multiple locations at once. Impossible, a Virelian officer said. They defy our sensors. They appear and disappear. This is chaos. And yet, it works. The humans coordinated carefully. Tanks targeted ships with precision energy blasts, disabling critical systems without destroying the entire vessel. The Virelians had superior firepower, but the humans had something more powerful: creativity and unpredictability. In orbit, the Virelians convened a council. They had underestimated Earth's history, intelligence, and ingenuity. These humans are unique, one said. Their primitive machines are only the surface. They combine history with innovation, and their courage makes them dangerous. Back on Earth, Elena led a daring maneuver. A fleet of tanks moved through narrow valleys and canyons, using the terrain to hide from orbital sensors. Energy pulses from hidden turrets disabled Virelian drones one by one. Human pilots and engineers cheered silently as every move succeeded. This is the moment, Elena said. Show them what humans can do when history and technology work together. The tanks unleashed their full potential. Some emitted EMP pulses that temporarily shut down alien electronics. Others fired precise energy beams, disabling ships without causing catastrophic damage. Every move reflected the human ability to learn, adapt, and act boldly. The Virelians were stunned. What they had mocked as primitive was now a deadly and intelligent system, designed not only to fight, but to outthink them. On the ground, citizens watched distant flashes in the sky. Military reports labeled them as unidentified energy bursts. But the story quickly spread. Earth's machines were active, and their coordination was unlike anything before. Thomas Lee, watching the battle unfold, whispered in disbelief. They laughed at us. And now they're seeing the truth. As the Virelian ships retreated, communications came from the alien fleet. A voice, formal and careful, spoke to humanity. Humans of Earth, we have misjudged your capabilities. Your technology and your strategy are far beyond our predictions. You are remarkable. Elena Ramirez replied, her voice calm but strong. We are not finished yet. This is only the beginning. The Virelians left temporarily, retreating to reassess. They had learned a crucial lesson. Humanity cannot be underestimated. Creativity, courage, and the ability to combine history with innovation were forces no alien could easily predict. On Earth, the victory was quiet, but powerful. Tanks returned to bases, crews celebrated small achievements, and engineers immediately began refining designs for the next encounter. Humans had not only defended their planet, they had demonstrated their true potential. Elena looked at the horizon, thinking of the challenges yet to come. They will return, she said, and when they do, we will be ready. Not just with machines, but with the human spirit that has survived every test of history. Above Earth, the stars shone as if acknowledging the new strength of its people. Humanity had awakened a power that went beyond technology, the power of ingenuity, unity, and courage. The Virelians would not laugh again, and in the quiet of the night, Project Phoenix continued its work. Tanks, drones, and AI systems were refined. Human soldiers trained tirelessly, preparing for the next chapter of galactic contact. The Earth of old mocked, underestimated, laughed at, had transformed into a symbol of human resilience and innovation. The galaxy was watching, and humanity had made its first bold statement. Underestimate humans at your peril. The stars above Earth burned cold and distant, silent witnesses to the arrival of the largest fleet the planet had ever faced. The Virelians had returned not with scouts, but with warships in overwhelming numbers. Thousands of ships hovered above Earth's orbit, their sleek hulls reflecting starlight, casting shadows over oceans and continents alike. On the ground, humans were ready. The tanks of Project Phoenix had been upgraded further, now carrying more advanced energy cannons, adaptive shields, and faster quantum engines. Command centers across continents buzzed with activity. Every military strategist, engineer, and soldier knew the stakes. Commander Elena Ramirez stood at the head of the Global Command Center, her eyes scanning holographic displays of the incoming fleet. Beside her, Lieutenant Kiran Patel reviewed tactical simulations, their movements projected in real time. This is it, Elena said quietly. They've underestimated us before. Now they want to crush Earth with numbers. But numbers are not the only measure of power. The humans had learned from the previous encounters. They knew that Virelians relied heavily on automated targeting, precise calculations, and overwhelming firepower. Humanity's advantage lay in unpredictability, creativity, and teamwork. Far across the deserts and mountains, tanks rolled forward. Each vehicle, though inspired by historical designs, moved with uncanny speed and precision. Soldiers inside worked seamlessly with AI systems, responding to threats before they even appeared. Above, Virelian warships began their descent, sending out massive beams of scanning energy. Cities were evacuated or protected with force fields. Humanity was not afraid, but cautious, ready to defend every corner of the planet. Elena activated the Coordinated Defense Protocol. Tanks split into multiple formations, some taking positions in mountains, others near forests, and a few hidden in urban areas. Drones flew ahead, creating illusions, intercepting enemy sensors, and drawing attention away from critical targets. The first wave of Virelian ships attacked. Energy beams streaked across the sky, striking cities and open grounds. But humanity's defenses moved faster. Tanks disappeared from one location and reappeared elsewhere, striking at the alien ships' weak points. AI systems predicted enemy maneuvers, allowing human crews to counter with precision. On a high mountain ridge, Thomas Lee, the young engineer who had helped design the tanks, watched the unfolding battle on a tablet. His heart raced. It's working. They can't predict us. Every move, every calculation. We are steps ahead. The Virelians were stunned. Their sensors reported anomalies. Ships vanished only to appear behind them. Energy pulses disabled critical systems. The humans were fighting not just with machines, but with ingenuity. "This is impossible," a Virelian officer said, his voice trembling through the translator. "They combine creativity, intuition, and strategy. Their attacks are not algorithmic. They adapt in real time." Elena knew that the Virelians were powerful, but she also knew the greatest strength of humanity: unity. Across continents, soldiers, engineers, and strategists worked together, communicating seamlessly. The world had set aside differences, focusing on survival and defiance. In the deserts, tanks moved in synchronized formations, creating traps for the Virelian ships. Some used energy pulses to disable shields, others fired beams to disable engines. The Virelians had firepower, but humans had unpredictability. Every attack was met with a counterattack, each movement reflecting a combination of historical tactics and advanced technology. Meanwhile, a squadron of specialized tanks, led by Elena herself, moved toward the largest Virelian vessel. Using cloaking technology and quantum jumps, they navigated through the orbital defenses undetected. "Hold steady," Elena commanded. "This is our chance to show them what humanity can do." The squadron unleashed a coordinated strike. Energy beams pierced the vessel's hull, while EMP pulses temporarily shut down its systems. The Virelian ships staggered, unable to anticipate the human strategy. Across the planet, similar victories unfolded. Ships were disabled without destruction, showcasing humanity's skill and precision. Civilians watched distant flashes in the sky, feeling a mix of fear and awe. Humanity was standing tall against a superior force, proving that courage and creativity could match any technology. The Virelians called another council. Their confidence was shaken. "These humans, they are not what we expected," one said. "They fight with unpredictability, coordination, and bravery. Their machines are only a part of the equation." Elena's eyes reflected determination. "They will learn that humans do not fight by numbers alone. We fight with spirit, courage, and intelligence. And that is our greatest weapon." The final phase of the battle began. Human forces used every advantage. Tanks moved in complex patterns. Drones distracted enemy sensors. And energy pulses disabled ship systems. AI-assisted targeting allowed crews to strike with precision, while humans made decisions that no algorithm could predict. In orbit, the Virelian flagship attempted a massive counterattack. Beams of energy cut through clouds and deserts, aiming for Earth's major cities. But the humans were ready. Energy shields activated, drones intercepted beams, and tanks launched EMP pulses that disrupted the ship's systems. The flagship staggered under coordinated strikes from Earth's forces. Elena directed the final assault, using both AI strategy and human intuition. Her squadron moved in perfect synchrony, striking weak points and creating openings. Finally, the Virelians began retreating. Their fleet, once confident, now moved cautiously, respecting the human resistance. A transmission came through, formal and respectful. "Humans of Earth, your strength and ingenuity are remarkable. We have misjudged you. You have proven that intelligence, courage, and creativity cannot be measured by technology alone. We leave in peace, with respect for your civilization." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "They laughed at us once," she said quietly. "Now they leave with respect. But we will not stop here." Across the planet, humans celebrated not just for survival, but for proving that they could stand against a superior force. Soldiers, engineers, and citizens felt pride in a shared achievement. Humanity had turned mockery into motivation, and fear into triumph. Thomas Lee looked at the night sky. "We did it," he whispered. "We showed them. Humanity is unstoppable when we work together. Elena walked through the training grounds, now quiet after the chaos. She touched one of the tanks, the metal warm from recent activity. These machines, they are history reborn, she said, but it is the people inside them, the courage, the creativity, the determination that makes them unstoppable. Across the planet, humans returned to their lives, but nothing was the same. The world had faced the stars and shown the galaxy the power of human spirit. History, technology, and ingenuity had combined to defend a planet, proving that humanity's greatest weapon was its own heart and mind. In the skies above, stars glimmered as if acknowledging Earth's defiance. The Virelians had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humans. And on the ground, as night settled over quiet cities, humanity prepared for the future. Project Phoenix continued its work. Tanks, AI systems, and strategies were refined, ready for the next challenge. The people of Earth had awakened their true power, and nothing in the galaxy would ever forget it. The story of mockery and laughter had turned into a story of courage, ingenuity, and triumph. Humanity had proven, once and for all, that even against overwhelming odds, humans could rise, adapt, and conquer challenges with their spirit and unity. The stars above Earth shone a little brighter that night. Humanity had not only survived, they had proven their place among the stars. And the galaxy would remember. Humanity's true power was only beginning to awaken.